Hey guys, the exercises that we're going to do now are ones that counteract our daily computer or technology time. So as we're sitting at our technology, our shoulders tend to roll forward and our head tends to go forward. And so this series of exercises is going to help kind of counterbalance that, bring us back into that good shoulder and neck alignment. But that being said, it's something that we need and most of us don't really love. So congratulations for clicking on this video and stick with it, hang in there with me, we can get through this together, okay? All right, so we're gonna start face down, sunny side down as one of my clients says, and we're gonna bring that nose down to the floor. And the first thing I'm gonna have you do is just work on pulling your shoulder blades down away from your ears. So you're sliding your shoulder blades into your back pockets. And we're gonna go ahead and roll our nose forward just a little bit and press up into a little upward dog or cobra pose. And then bring it back down. So again, your shoulders roll back, your elbows reach toward your toes. You lift with your exhale and you lower with an inhale. Now some of you are going to feel this quite a bit in your low back. And if you do, just take a little towel roll, put it right here at the top of your hips, and that way you can kind of flatten your low back out. So do you see this difference here? There's a big crater versus that. And we want to have that flatness in the low back rather than arcing in that low back because we don't want compression here. So a little towel roll will help kind of pad you up a little bit. All right, exhale up. Inhale down. Let's go two more. Exhale up. Inhale down. Last one, exhale up. Inhale down. Don't worry if you can't get very far. That is perfectly fine. Next thing we're going to do is bring your hands out in front of you and go thumbs up. So for some of this might already feel like a stretch. You're going to bring your eye gaze down, and then from here pull your shoulder blades back and down and then slide it forward. So we're getting a little movement out of the shoulder blades and bring it forward. Let's go 3. And 2. I feel this. Last one. Woo. Okay, now still with our pinkies down and our thumbs up, we're going to keep our eyes just in a neutral alignment, and we're going to take these hands to the outside and raise them up. And then reach them back forward. So we start with that downward shoulder blade in your back pockets feeling, and then we reach up, reach those palms back. So thumbs are up, pinkies are down. See me? And bring it back. Exhale up. Inhale down. I'm a little close to the wall there. 4. And 3. Keep that neck nice and neutral so your eyes, again, are staying down versus this. We don't want to compress that neck. So think long through the back of the neck. And 2. And 1. And back down. Whew. Okay, little break for the back muscles. We're going to just really work the shoulders here for a second. So I'm going to do one arm at a time. I have my elbow straight out from my shoulder here. So my elbow's bent at 90 degrees, wrist up, and what I'm going to do is try to raise this wrist up in the air. So I'm going to pull my shoulder blade down and back in order to do that. There you go. So you're pulling the shoulder down, raise the wrist up. It's a lot harder than it looks, and if you've been trying it with me, you know that. Some people will only be able to get it up a little bit here. Shoulder down, wrist up. Shoulder away from your ear, wrist up. One more. Shoulder down, wrist up. Woo. Let's try the other side. Shoulder down, wrist up. This is my harder arm. Shoulder down, wrist up. Shoulder down, wrist up. And 3. And 2. And 1. I'm going to show you something that I know some of you have done on that. You're going to go shoulder down, and you're going to go wrist up. So keep your wrist flat, not fingertips up, whole wrist up. Do you feel like you need to do it again? It's okay. It's okay, it's okay. That's how our body compensates. I'm like, I can get my wrist up, so I'll get my fingertips up. It happens. Okay, we're gonna go arms straight out in front of you now. This time your palms are down. And once again, we pull those shoulder blades back in your back pockets. We're gonna try to get out of that low back, so give yourself a little pelvic tilt or get that little towel roll underneath there. And now we're gonna lift our right arm and our left leg together. And lower back down. Then we're gonna do left arm, right leg. And lower back down. Right arm, left leg. Lower back down. Left arm, right leg. Lower back down. Let's go. 8 and 7 and 6. Reach long. And 5. Feel those glutes turning on. And 4. Last 3. Awesome. 2 and 1. Beautiful. All right. Now you get to roll over. So we roll on over on our back, and we're gonna do that similar exercise that we just did, but it's a little bit easier this way, so you're welcome. You may feel a stretch across your pecs, and that's really common because as your shoulders roll forward, these pec muscles start to get shortened, and so as we open them up and lay those elbows back, you may feel a big stretch there, or you may feel like you have to arch your back to get your wrists down. And some of you, your wrists may not touch the floor, and that's okay. Remember, you're starting where you're starting. It's all fine. Okay, so we're gonna lengthen that neck out. And by the way, if when you lay down on the floor, your chin is way up in the air, put a few little small pads or a tiny pillow underneath your head so that you can get your forehead and your chin on the same plane. Okay, so we're gonna feel what it's like to try to get the rib cage to softly meet the mat. Let the elbows meet the mat and the wrists meet the mat. And again, if they don't all meet the mat, it's okay. You can also pad those up. So from here, we're gonna bring your wrists up in the air and then lower them back down. And the whole time, you're just really trying to get as much surface area on the floor or the back of your mat. So the shoulder blades are connected, the elbows are connected, and the rib cage is connected as much as possible. Yeah, and if your wrists stop there and they won't go any further, it's all right. That's where you are today. Okay, so we're doing this elevation here. Very nice. No resistance needed on this. Let's go for 4. Really feel those pecs open. And 3. And 2. I'm having to work to keep my rib cage anchored down. And on our final one, we're gonna keep it here. Try to press those palms down as far as you can, open the shoulders, and then reach elbow to elbow. So you're stretching your elbows to either side of the room. So feel that reach, feel that space between your shoulder blades, spreading those elbows out. A lot going on there. Whew. All right, now we're gonna go up with those fingertips. The back of the hand as close to the floor as you can get it. And then we bend the elbows. My watch got stuck on my mat. And pull them back down, like in this goalpost position. Okay, so we reach our arms up and then pull them down, and you feel the elbows reaching from side to side and those pecs stretching. I know this looks really innocent, but if you're not doing it, it is. When you do it with me, you know it's not as innocent as it looks. Isn't that the case with a lot of these exercises? I call it stealthy. Stealthy exercises. Let's go for awesome. And 3. So funny thing about this, when I was really religious about doing all these exercises, I stopped grinding my teeth. But now I haven't been, I'm grinding my teeth again. So it's amazing how where your head is placed can affect your teeth grinding. I mean, it really makes sense when you think about it. Okay, that was great. Now we're gonna do just a little bit more of this shoulder blade movement. So I'm gonna have you come on into a quadruped position, so all fours here. And we're gonna let our shoulder blades squeeze together in the back. And then we're gonna push them away from each other. So don't really worry about what your tail is doing. Just focus on letting your shoulder blades squeeze together so they're sinking inwards towards each other. And then we're pushing them apart. Sinking inward and pushing them apart. And your neck's staying pretty neutral, so you're not really moving your neck a whole lot. Some people really struggle with this, noticing that their shoulder blades can move and their elbows can stay straight. So if you feel yourself bending those elbows to make this happen, you're not at the right joint. Come up higher and work the shoulder blades. Whew, it's good stuff. Awesome, awesome. All right, now we're gonna stay pushed away. Find that neutral pelvis so your back isn't arched, and we're gonna bring your right arm straight out. And then from here, imagine your arm is at table height or height of your shoulder and hip, and you're gonna bring it back and then all the way to the front. So you're just keeping it on the same level. Again, it looks easy. It's not. Good. If you get really good at this, you can add like a 2-pound weight. Final one. Yep. Lay that arm down. We go to the left side. So we're stabilizing right here under the armpit of the right side as we work this left one. I knew I was going to hit the wall there. I'm just going to make a fist with my fingers. So my left shoulder is a little crunchy. So it was a lot smoother on my right one. And you may feel this. You may feel like it's not a smooth glide, that you're getting a little bumpiness in there. And that's okay. We want to just keep working on the range of motion. Remember, we're all a work in progress. We're not expecting to do this perfectly the first 100 times. Last one, bring it forward and back. Good. Okay, now I'm going to turn to face you guys in a seated position, and I'm just going to teach you a couple stretches for your neck that you can finish off with. These are ones that you can do at your desk or wherever you are during the day, and they will also make a big difference. So first of all, I'm going to take my left hand behind my back, and what that does is it helps my shoulders drop down and stay away from me. And then I'm going to take my fingertips over to the temple of my other side, so shoulder behind, fingers toward that temple, and I'm going to bring my ear to my shoulder. Now what I'm hoping for here is that there's not a lot of rotation yet. I want you to see if you can keep your nose at a nice 45-degree angle here. And the reason we have this hand back here is so the shoulder doesn't hike up. So we're keeping it down. And that might be hard for you. Maybe your hand can only go to here. Totally fine. No biggie. Then take your hands around to the back of the skull. And we're going to turn your nose towards your armpit. I always tease that we're checking to see how hard we worked. Sorry, I'm almost 3 boys. And then your eyes and nose are going to go right down towards that armpit. This is getting the muscle called the levator scapula. And so it inserts right here to the top of that shoulder blade, and you might be feeling it. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do is, with this head still over to the side, we're now going to bring our eyes up in the air. And this gets a muscle that goes across to the front, called your sternocleidomastoid. It's a tongue twister. Good, and then finish one more time, right ear, right shoulder. And release. All right, now take your right hand behind your head, fingertips to the right temple, left fingertips to the right temple. Bring it over. Just pause here and notice how much range of motion you have. Can you get that head to 45? Most people can't, especially as we age, unfortunately. Deep breaths. Let this elbow sink down. Allow this distance to happen right here in the upper traps. And then we're going to bring our nose down towards the floor. You can grasp just gently behind your skull and give it a tiny little bit of pressure downward. I think sniffing the armpit, if it helps you think about it. I know, I'm gross. And then we're going to go eyes up in the air. So we're still over at this 45, but we're bringing our eyes up in the air. This feels a lot easier to me on this side. And then we go back down again. 45, fingertips right on top of that temple. Lovely. All right, release. We're going to finish off by lacing our fingertips together behind your back. And so you're drawing your knuckles down to the floor. I'll just turn to the side so you can see that. And then we'll take our chin down towards our chest. And then bring those eyes back up. So exhale, chin down towards your chest. Great exercise to do a couple times a day, 5-10 times a day would be great. Especially if you work with technology. It gets that pec stretch open and gets those shoulders engaged, shoulder muscles. So the opposite of this is this. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for that one. I know it was difficult, but I'm proud of you for doing it. Kudos.